Have you ever seen a person run from a rabbit? Most people haven't. But in 1807, that's exactly what happened. And the person running wasn't just anyone. He was the man who had conquered half of Europe, one of the greatest military minds in all of history, Napoleon Bonaparte. That day, Napoleon was at the peak of his power. The Treaty of Tilsit had just been signed. His enemies had surrendered. The continent had bowed to him. To celebrate, he organized a rabbit hunt. His generals, his officers, his closest advisors, all of them were there. The sun was out. The horses were ready. Everyone was in good spirits. Then the cages opened, and the smile on Napoleon's face froze. The rabbits didn't run. They charged. Hundreds of them moving in waves straight toward Napoleon. At first, Napoleon laughed. Then he stepped back. Then he had no choice but to panic. His aides swung their whips trying to drive the rabbits away. It didn't work. The horses panicked. The generals scattered. Napoleon's own carriage was completely surrounded by rabbits. In the end, Napoleon leapt into his carriage and fled. The man who conquered Europe was running from rabbits. But why did this happen? Napoleon's chief of staff, Alexandre Berthier, was in charge of organizing the hunt. Berthier couldn't find enough wild rabbits in time, so he took a shortcut. He bought farm rabbits instead. Hundreds of them. Wild rabbits run from humans, but farm rabbits see humans as a source of food. They had been fed by human hands for years. The moment the cages opened, hundreds of hungry rabbits sprinted straight toward Napoleon. To them, he was just a very large food source. The conqueror of Europe had to run from rabbits. But the story doesn't end there. As Napoleon's carriage sped away, the rabbits gave chase. Some clung to the wheels. Some leapt onto the carriage itself. The generals had abandoned the field. The horses were wild with fear. The court scattered in every direction. The celebration had turned into complete chaos. And all of it because one man decided to take a shortcut. Berthier never fully admitted the mistake, but those who witnessed it wrote it down. It passed into the memoirs of Napoleon's inner circle. It entered military diaries and palace records. Nothing was added. Nothing was exaggerated. This actually happened. Now think about this for a moment. This man had defeated Austria. He had defeated Prussia. He had defeated Russia. But that day, he ran from rabbits. And it went down as one of the strangest scenes in recorded history. So what can we learn from this? Maybe this. Even the most powerful man in the world loses when he's caught unprepared. Or maybe we just learned one simple thing. Don't buy farm rabbits. Berthier never made a mistake like that again, and Napoleon never organized another hunting party. Some defeats don't happen on the battlefield. Sometimes they happen in a hunting field. Sometimes the enemy is the farm rabbit your assistant bought. This story is real, documented, written into palace records, and on this channel, there's a story like this every single week. Real, documented, and completely unbelievable. If you subscribe, you won't miss the next one. Promise. History's strangest moments. Every week. See you next time.